So as we saw earlier, a data structure is a way of organizing the data so that operations can be performed on it efficiently. So how do we select a data structure? So for doing that selection, the first thing that we need to do is to analyze the problem and to know which are the basic operations that need to be performed on that data. So take an example of a bank. So in a bank, new bank accounts might be created, or some existing account might be deleted, or users might want to perform certain kind of operations within their bank account. So what are the operations that need to be performed? How frequently they will be performed? So take an example of any regular data. So the basic operations can be classified into like inserting, deleting, or searching a data item from a particular data structure. Also, we should be knowing what are the resource constraints for each operation. So what are the time and space complexities for the operation that need to be done? That should be quantifiable. Then based on these, we select the data structure that best meets these requirements. How we are going to do that, we will study in later lectures. So what are the major concerns then? First is the data. What kind of data we are having? What are the operations that are to be performed on them? Then secondly, how to represent that data? In what manner should that data be represented so that operations on it can be performed with ease? And the third part would be implementation of that representation. So once we know that the data needs to be represented in a particular manner, the implementation part needs to be taken care of. So what is data? In a very basic language, we can say that data means a value or a set of values. Okay, so and this value could be either the value of a variable like the name of a student or his roll number or his marks, or it could be the value of a constant like the speed of light or the value of pi. So these are all called data. Any data item which has no subordinate data items is called an elementary item. By subordinate data items, we mean further bifurcation of a particular data item. Like you take the example of age. Age can be further bifurcated into years and months and days. Take the example of marks of a student in science. That cannot be bifurcated. That is a elementary item. So any data item which has no subordinate data item, that is called an elementary item. You take the address of a customer. This is not an elementary item because you can further have subordinate data items like street or house number or the area. So when there is no subordinate data item, then it is an elementary item. But if it is containing one or more subordinate data items, then it is called a group item, like the name of an employee. The name of an employee could have a first name, a middle name, and a last name. So it is a group item. What is a record? It is a collection of data items. So let's say we are taking the complete information of a student, which consists of his name, his date of birth, his address, and his marks in all the courses that he has been enrolled till now. So this is a complete record of a student where this collection is consisting of many data items. And these data items could either be elementary if they are not containing subordinate data items, or they could be group items. So this is called a record. Then a file is a collection of related records. So this record was suppose corresponding to one particular student. But if we have say 100 students in a class, each student would have his own record. So this would be corresponding to student 1, then student 2, then student 3. So a collection of data items for each student, and all of these records could be kept in a particular file. So this file is a collection of related records.